Couple of really interesting things about the younger generation. He's going to get me going. Iain Mansfield is the Director of Research and the Head of Education and Science. Title that is, Jeremy Kyle, idiot. Iain Mansfield, Director of Research.
Well, it's a great job.
Well done. This is very frightening.
I mean, I think if we're talking about the behaviour survey that came out yesterday, I think it's wrong to be racializing this. The big lesson to take away from this is that we have a crisis of behaviour in our classrooms. I think if you look at the numbers, we're seeing that only 54%, only just over half of pupils say that their schools are ordered. When we look at so-called low-level disruption, you're seeing that 56% people throwing stuff. We did a report at Policy Exchange a few years ago, which said that over 7 in 10 teachers knew a colleague who had left the profession because of behaviour, which just shows this is exacerbating the teaching crisis in our schools and just massively taking away from the amount that good kids, kids who want to get on, who want to better themselves, are learning.
I have a real problem with this. Now, please bear in mind that I'm a granddad. I'm 60 and I was born in a different era. The poll also revealed that teens are stressed by social media. Now, on the one hand, I'll caveat what I'm going to say by saying that my kids had to have mobile phones at 11 because suddenly, and this is how old I am, they get their... I believe this generation, I'm sorry to say this, do not have it as we had it. I think there's an entitled softness about so much of it. I also have great sympathy in this instance with this story about, you know, I mean, you got Phillipson, the idiot, saying that controls or the authority that any teacher can have. And I never stick up for the teaching profession. Dared to say the world's changed, you see, Iain, in all due respect. I don't know, it's a bit like footballers. The power's shifted. We went to stress, I'll have to have 6 months off. It just wasn't like that, mate. It just was different.
Overdiagnosis of certain sort of mental health and neurodivergent conditions amongst young people. And again, you know, we're not saying that people are making it up, and parents, of course, are fighting for the best for their kids. And of course, people do feel anxious. But what we wrote, we looked at all the evidence here, is that we're overly medicalized. Life, you know, it's normal to feel miserable sometimes as a teenager. It's normal to feel anxious.
The matter, you know, I mean, the exams are going to be hard. I think I can't. No. Life isn't a bowl of cherries, right? There will be moments when you don't get what you want. You won't succeed. You'll have failure. My old man always taught me that you learn more from better next time. But I mean, honestly, we live in an environment because we're going to end up with a soft, entitled, anxiety-ridden generation that, I mean, you know, let's all work from home. No, let's go to work and meet other people and broaden our minds. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think one of the other things is that when you get this, it actually you have this huge number of people flooding the system, and it takes away the support from the much smaller number of kids who actually do have genuine needs. Absolutely. You know, your severely autistic kid, your child with Down syndrome, your blind child. These are the people who we should be putting resources into.
But isn't that actually symptomatic of where we are as a society, where we've spent so long, it seems, making excuses for and caring for almost everybody, that in the end what happens is the genuine people, Iain, the people who need the support, be that on benefits, be it in education, I can think of several examples, are missing out because the priority has gone the other way. It's wrong, the priority, right?
has sort of tripled over the last few years, and it's actually terrible. It's like we're writing them off. They could make something of their lives, but they're being told, no one really wants to be on benefits their whole lives, but at the time they feel it's the route which is easiest for them.
I'm a bit old-fashioned because when I went to school, when you come out, you either went to work or you went to college or university. I'm sorry, a lot of people find this offensive, but it's not. I never saw benefits as a career choice. I saw it as a safety net that I was happy to pay into to help people who can't help themselves, not an excuse for people who can't be asked or a system that can't change to wipe people's backsides. Not at all.
Has got so bad is that in a rare good move, the Education Secretary has brought back Tom Bennett, who was the behaviour czar who was appointed under the Tories. And we were told a few months ago that he was no longer in position, but was welcome to reapply. And I think that shows that even Bridget Phillipson has realised that things have got so bad. We need to be cracking down on this. We need to be doing more.
If she's realised anything sane, then we are really in a hole. Really good to have you on, Iain. Really appreciate your time this morning. Iain Mansfield, Director of Research and Head of Education and Science at the Policy Exchange. We appreciate him 10 to 9. We're live across the UK.